Hey, Lord, this is Purge, bringing you a game from the defense here. Sorry for the late start, missing a couple bans and picks here, but I was not aware that this game was going on, and I hopped on last second to swing in here. A couple of the other Ghosty Gamers casters were busy, so finally getting into a professional level game. First time in a while, we're going to be watching SK versus Problem. SK was previously Nevo, which was then became Monkey, and is now SK. They do have an official sponsor. Very highly, very top tier team. For Dota 2 here, and they're going to be playing against Problem, who I've seen play not too many games so far, but apparently they did get their roster straight. So Mania taking control of the team here, having some issues with Malk apparently, and now their lineup is going to be Mania, Fire, Noretti, Black, and Lapis. I have seen Lapis before in Fire, possibly from Panza, but I might be wrong. Might be wrong there. And SK, the typical lineup of Miguel, Calculus, Angel, Link, and Rise. A lot of those players, very popular Dota 2 streamers, so go check those out sometime. All those players, very talented. So, interesting band picks so far. The first four, nothing unusual. Lich, Night Stalker, Nature's Prophet, and Anti-Mage. That's pretty much standard for Euro tournaments, or Euro players playing against each other. The first pick was actually a Tidehunter here on the right side from the Dire team, and the Radiant countered with a Broodmother and a Windrunner, and then we saw an SK Priest of the Moon. We did see extremely good SK numbers at the last tournament, so it might be why teams are starting to play him a little bit more often. He hasn't changed at all, but he is a very good hero, basically. His stun is very consistent, low cooldown, AoE, and his ultimate is really good if you can get it off correctly, especially against heroes like Windrunner. More magic nuke is always going to be a good thing. But primarily they did pick up the Sand King for the reason that he counters Broodmother very effectively, so we're probably going to see Sand King end up soloing against the Broodmother, whichever lane she is at, and he will possibly just pick up at least one level of Caustic Finale, which means every time he kills one of their spiders, it's going to do a little bit of AoE. So I bet you want in-game sound, so I will actually click back on the Dota 2 screen. And the second round bans, we see a Crystal Maiden get banned by SK, fearing that Aura rocking, which I understand. Crystal Maiden Aura is very good for strength heroes, especially ones like strength casters like Tidehunter or Sand King. That would definitely fit into their lineup very effectively. And Mania is going to ban out a Venomancer as well as a Chen. Both of those heroes being able to do some pushing, so those coupled with a Broodmother would create kind of a hard situation for Problem to end up playing against. So Rasta will be the final ban from SK. He has seen some pretty good success as well in a lot of different areas of Dota 2 so far with this like semi-push strategy, and just generally he's a very powerful solo mid and very good with Rune Whoring. Once he hits about 6 or 7, he can gank those side lanes so effectively, so definitely understandable to see him banned. But we do have a pick coming out of Problem now, the Dire team once again, and we will see if they can do anything sweet. They're going to pick up a Pugna here. Kind of interesting. Netherward, very effective in team fights. Extremely effective in team fights. Does a mana degen aura, so it slowly reduces your mana, but most importantly, if you do cast a spell, you do take a nuke from that. So it's pretty awesome, basically. Unfortunately, I joined the game a little bit late, so I'm not going to be able to be in an observer slot, so it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass for me to check items and things like that. It's just a Dota 2 error, a Dota 2 bug currently, but hopefully in the future that will get fixed. Let me just check Reddit really quick, make sure that my link is available. Good enough. I'm happy. Let me open up the, if you want to chat with me during the game, if I have some downtime, gg.dotacast. Just reading a couple chat things quick just to make sure I'm all caught up. Nothing too major. Okay, let us see. Earthshaker was picked up by SK. That's going to round out their support heroes, assuming they do a Lion with an Earthshaker support, which I assume they will. It's not the best tri-lane. Lion is, in my opinion, a better solo hero, but the disables that he brings to the game are just so powerful that I think Lion is slightly underplayed right now. The only downside is he doesn't really fit as well as a support hero. And cool, we're going to see a Bat Rider this game. Haven't seen a lot of Bat Riders at all, to be honest. Not many Bat Riders being played in Dota 2 yet, where he was a absolute first pick or first ban in Dota 1 pretty much. So it's kind of unusual why he hasn't been played. I read something on Reddit just today about there being some kind of a debuff or like some kind of a slight nerf to him, like turn rate or something like that, that possibly isn't integrated yet, but I'm not quite sure. I can't confirm that that's the case quite yet.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Alright, one more pick coming from the Radiant team. SK is on here. Uh, 47 seconds left. What are they going to go for? They could use another solo hero. They could solo a Lion. They're basically trying to decide whether or not they want to go for some kind of a hard carry or another semi-carry. I feel like they're going to need another semi-carry for sure. I guess they're only up against like a... I don't know, the Dire team has big push basically. Big push and... Well, not big push. Big team fight and ganking, pretty much. Tidehunter ulti, SK ulti. Batrider is really good in team fights as well, and for disabled ganking. Pugna can push, but they don't have a ton of pushing. So I think SK is just kind of confused what they want to go for. The Dire team doesn't necessarily have a really obvious lineup. They actually have quite a few weird heroes fitting in Pugna, Batrider, and SK. It's not very common, and Clockwork is going to be the pickup by SK. I actually like this a lot. He can basically initiate on heroes like Sand King pretty effectively, or jumping on Pugna or Tidehunter can make a big difference in team fights, and this is going to allow them to do a little bit of counter push. You can basically slow down pushes with rockets, and most importantly, pull the creep wave past any towers that are taking damage, so makes a big difference. We will see though. I've seen Problem play some really, really effective games, so people in chat saying that they don't think they're going to play very well, but I don't completely agree with that. We will see how it goes. Alright, this is the problem with Observer Mode, is that I'm permanently selected to Clockwork Goblin, so if I want to see items, I'm going to have to use F5 here. Really frustrating, but unfortunately that's just how it's going to have to be, so... that's what I get for showing up a little bit late, so can't click on items. So I hope you guys enjoy watching Clockwork's HP and item bar for the rest of the game. Alright, so for the Radiant team, Miguel is going to be playing the Clockwork for SK, Calculus is on the Earthshaker, Angel on the Windrunner, Link is playing the Broodmother, and Rise is playing the Lion. For the Dire team, Problem, Mania is going to be playing Tidehunter, Fire is on Sand King, Noretti is on Batrider, Black is playing Mirana, and finally Lapis is going to be playing Pugna. And if we look at some starting items here, there are a couple Ironwood branches in the game. In case you guys didn't realize, Ironwood branches are really good. This is one thing I hate, is you can't see text over here when you bring up the... I'm sure they'll work on this stuff to make it better, but... in terms of laning, it looks like the Earthshaker is swinging towards top lane. That's just to drop the Observer Wards, basically. He's going to place an Observer Ward, at least one is going to be placed in this position to prevent this pull from being spawned, and therefore whoever's soloing the top lane, which is possibly just going to be Broodmother, I think. Just going to end up being Broodmother up there. He will end up not having to fight against a pull, basically. It'll be nice, unless the Dire team ends up getting counter wards, and I can actually click on everybody. That's really interesting. Apparently when the game is paused, I can click on everybody, but not when the game is live. Pretty weird stuff. Huh. Okay. Well, alright, let's look at some lanes. Lines going towards the bottom. I'm expecting them to do probably a dual lane. I don't know, they have really weird lanes. They might even do like... Where's their trialing going to be? I guess they could dual lane. They could do Windrunner or Earthshaker and then do like Lion Clockwork or something weird like that. And yeah, there's the bug. Bug is back in. Alright, so Broodmother looks like he's going to the bot lane. Lion's running down there. He did have Sentry Wards if we...
Flares here.
Alright, that's the previous game. That's not this game. That should not be there. We'll see how long that takes to reflect. That's unusual. More bugs. Might be because I'm a spectator. Might be another spectator bug, something like that I'm not familiar with. So, going to be trying to cast without fancy spectator things.
Rock it on.
Alright.
The battle begins.
Okay, so, unfortunately this is what we gotta do. So it looks like Batrider's on the top lane with the Tidehunter here. Looks like it's gonna be a Windrunner on the top lane. Earthshaker might just be roaming this game. Clockwork is mid, and on the bot lane we have a Lion who is gonna be pulling Lion, who's going to be pulling for a Broodmother, basically. So he's going to be able to get basically EXP by soloing against this, pretty much.
Invisibility.
Boom! There it goes.
Oh, cool. Alright, sweet. I did not know that. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. On the top lane here. Windrunner already eating some sticky napalm. Because I don't need to use F5 anymore. I can actually use my control pad. Yes! This is awesome. Alright, 2 sentry wards here. He's going to check to see if the creep did spawn. It did not, so now he knows, okay, there's obviously going to be an observer ward here. So he will place a sentry and immediately spot out the observer ward. So the next spawn will end up spawning. This is basically why he did buy those sentries. Now it is going to actually be an SK with a Mirana, which is kind of an interesting lane. They could actually do some interesting chain combos here against the Broodmother. Clockwork on the mid lane is actually a very old solo lane. He used to be, when he first started getting played a lot, he was actually played in the mid lane. A little bit of misplay there. He needs to get those last hits while he harasses the Pugna. But Clockwork's actually a very, very old solo mater. People started realizing that they could lane him on the side lanes pretty effectively, and you saw some interesting things as a result. But he is actually pretty effective on the mid lane. He could go for a bottle, max out the rockets. He's closer to both lanes with his rockets, so he can actually do pretty decent harass on each side, so interesting stuff. And Lion playing a good support here. He's going to be guarding the runes. They now know that the rune is top, and it is indeed. There's an invisible rune. Clockwork Goblin just going to be in position to be able to grab that if needed. We get a shout out in all chat by somebody. And Windrunner, once again, laning against the Batrider would be pretty dangerous with Tide support here. But if Earthshaker is around, that can help out and keep him safe. So he's going to have to be a little careful here for now. Batrider versus Windrunner is a semi-even lane. If Windrunner can land a lot of power shots and keep the Batrider's HP low, it's not a big deal for Batrider to play. And since on the bot lane here, Broodmother actually maxing out the spin web first just because the lane is moving a lot, and there's actually 2 heroes, so he's going to have to be careful and just wait till he has a decent level advantage before he attempts to start out-harassing these guys. They do actually have sentry wards already, so that's good for them. And they're checking the pull line, getting the last creep. He might have actually missed that one, unfortunately for him. But picking up Hex at level 2. It's going to give him the most disable early. And Earthshaker going to be able to snipe a courier here. Oh man, is he going to take it? Nothing, he becomes visible. What is he doing, man? Does Fissure kill the courier? That's the real question. It might not. And he will now back up. Man, I feel like that was weird. Alright. Mania continuing to support up here on the Tidehunter, going for the Anchor Smash at level 2. A lot of these support heroes in the game really not very farmed up so far. Kind of a boring game. Not a lot of ganking action going, just a lot of very safe lane play going. I think this is partially because there's not really any tri lanes, just kind of some dual lane action, which isn't as popular at right now. I mean, I know some people have said that tri-lanes are basically going to go extinct or not going to be played as often here. Tidehunter may be going to create an opening. He's actually going to gush on the Windrunner and back up, but that's not actually going to cause any, create any openings because the Batrider wasn't quite ready to dive on that one. But he does have boots, which means that his chase is definitely going to be a lot more effective. Clockwork continuing to harass on the Pugna. He does end up picking up a bottle, so he will be doing some rune whoring. Clockwork, very, very good last hitter as well, and with that wand he's going to get some burst heal when needed, and must be doing a pretty good job. Pugna actually doesn't have a bottle yet. He actually picked up fast boots, which I think is pretty smart against a Clockwork. If Clockwork does catch you with the battery assault, it can take you up pretty well, and actually very interesting skill build here on Miguel, opting to max battery assault first instead of a max rocket. He actually doesn't even have cogs yet. Most times when we see a Clockwork solo on the long lane, they end up maxing out a rocket first, and they just get 1 battery assault and 1 power cog, which allows you to trap somebody in, but most importantly just spam rockets and get last hits and harass in. He sacrifices a little bit of cooldown on his rocket flare, but most importantly the damage. But this is kind of a preference choice, because battery assault can do a crap load of damage if you level it up first. And we'll see, will the Priest be able to snake anything? Nothing yet. No creeps have gone down. There's 1 that has dropped. The Lion trying to get these Priest Moon cleaned up again. And will she get the last one? Spiderlings will snake the second to last creep, and Priest Moon may be able to back off from that. Doing a decent enough job, grabbing some of those CS. That is kind of a big little win there. Getting an extra 50 gold for each one of those ogres does make an impact. And Link continuing to CS. Let's look at some CS totals. I believe it's F2. Oops, nope. That is Vision. Let's pull up this dude. 25 CS on the Clockwork Goblin. We have 18 on Windrunner, 20 on Broodmother, 3 on Lion, not doing very good on his pulling. And for the Dire team, 27 on Pugna, 18 on Mirana, and a couple small numbers here for the rest of the team. And if we look at let's see if the gold graph is working. It is! Woo hooray! There's a very slight advantage going to the Radiant team. No kills yet, so basically it's just a very small farm changes, basically. One team is farming slightly better than the other team, then the other team gets a couple more CS. And just pretty much, I think this is the definition of a boring game so far. But definitely very interesting heroes. A lot of these we don't see. Pugna, Batrider, and Sand King are very, oftentimes not played very often. And Clockwork, possibly Lion, the only weird ones on the Radiant team. So, but we'll see how this continues to go. Somebody will die eventually, I can promise you guys that. Link here is... Apparently I'm having observer problems now. Let's see if I can switch this out. Alright, I'll just have to do that periodically. And there's the first blood that I missed on the top lane. It's a rocket. That was actually a level 6 Clockwork Ink. He didn't even use his hookshot. Kind of interesting skill build. And of course I have to be distracted right when that happens. Damn it. Thank you, Lil Dutch Freak. I appreciate that. I did notice that though. Yeah, opting for power cogs instead of the ultimate. So kind of interesting pickup. Might have been a mistake, who knows. What is SK sitting on now? Just a poor man's shield and a wand actually. Still doesn't have his soul ring. He does pick up his ulti at 6, which is sometimes unusual for Broodmother, but I think in this dual lane situation where he could end up dying, I don't think it's a bad decision at all. He's going to continue being careful though. They do still have sentry wards up, so he will have to be careful. He's actually going for Power Treads. Power Treads bottle. That's going to give him a little bit more usability from his bottle because he can switch to Agility Treads before he heals back up, so I like this choice here. Bottle definitely complements, or sorry, Treads actually complements the bottle quite a bit. Ring of Basilius on the Mirana. Lion level 4. Doing a decent enough job pulling. He's actually using spiders, I guess. This is actually a cool little trick that they're doing right now with the Lion here. He's using the spiders to tank and get the gold. Even if he lets Broodmother get the gold, you know, this is experience that he wouldn't be getting otherwise. So I think that's really, really cool. What that little coordination going between them. I wish Lion was doing a little bit more ganking. We have a little bit of a team fight going on though. There's a disable on Clockwork. He does, no he didn't. He almost threw a hookshot. He decided against it, but the battery assault just destroying Mania here. The Tidehunter does end up going down. Nether Ward is still up. They're going to try to auto attack this through, and Earthshaker will now eat a stun. Will he go down? He's going to take a nuke as well. Calculus actually in a lot of trouble. He does have a salve that he could pop. We're going to have a stun in about 5 seconds. Nope, he will be absolutely fine. There's a stun from Lion now going through, but Rise now out of mana, and that's going to be the disengage there. So just a very casual kill there on that Tidehunter going down. Battery Assault really doing the work, man. 55 damage per hit. It is a crap load of damage if you level that up early. The most dangerous hero in the game with a haste rune in the early game is a Clockwork with a maxed out Battery Assault. You just cannot get away from it. And Batrider going for the gank, but just as Earthshaker shows up, are we going to need a Shackle? No Shackle there, and unfortunately Angel not going to be able to... Oh, nice power shot landing on the Batrider. He's in even more trouble. I have to change my dude again. There we go. Close this out. And there we go. I can once again click on heroes. So Power Treads bottle on the Clockwork. He's now level 7. We'll see where he skills out next. Will he max out the Battery Assault? Earthshaker looking for the kill. Oh my god, he spots him. Just barely. Are we going to see the dodge? He wants to dodge it, but he does get it. Nice play by Calculus there. Going for that easy kill. He just pops level 5. I think picking up a 3rd level of Fissure. And nice job, Batrider. Almost juking out that gank. Or juking out the stun, which would have been pretty hilarious. But Calculus better player than that. Megal actually in a lot of trouble here. Are we going to see big nukes coming onto the Clockwork Goblin? Unfortunately, getting my vision changed once again. I think I'm just going to keep this open so that I can keep doing that easier. And Clockwork Goblin picking up a Stout Shield, possibly going to go for a Vanguard next, which is very understandable. Clockwork Goblins almost always want that big tank. Windrunner with Phase Boots, going to be slowly working towards a mechanism. I assume she'll be the one to grab the mech, most likely. And actually a double Sobi Mask, or Sage's Mask, sorry. Very interesting Broodmother item build so far. He will be going for an Orchid this game. It's going to be used to counter heroes like Mirana. We see another kill in the mid lane. It's going to be Tidehunter going down, but will he die to the Pugna? Calculus trying to be aggressive here to keep the Crystal Maiden alive.
it with flair.
And there's a haste rune on the line. He's only level 5 though. No ulti from him. Will they go for a kill? He's going to find the SK. They're going to find each other and be like, oh, they did not want to fight apparently. And Link continuing to CS. Still good sentry ward placement though. This is going to basically make it so Broodmother can't just get away with anything. And here comes the gank on them. They really want to kill this Broodmother. Do they have a dust or anything? The Broodling spotting the Tide SK, man. That makes a big difference. Nice play there by Link. Just keeping one creep, one of his little dudes over there just to get vision. And it ends up keeping him in a good spot. He's less likely to die at this point. Now, Batrider, let's look at some gold per minutes. Looks like a little bit of a gank is coming. The Radiant team apparently scouting this out, so I'll drop this down for just a little bit. Are they going to get a gank off on the Clockwork? Clockwork actually has max battery cell, so finding these two heroes would not be a big deal. Neither one of them has their ulti. Most importantly, the Tidehunter. And will he shoot a rocket to scout this out? They may just be waiting for backup, and now they're going to go look for them. They know that they're there. He's not going to hookshot this. I'm a little surprised that they're not going for this kill. He did have a sentry ward. I feel like he could maybe kill a Sand King. It would be a little tough though. And we have a Dire Ward in position. It's going to scout out the jungle. They will spot the Earthshaker. Spiders go down. Just very, very meticulous movement so far. Another power shot on the Batrider. It's going to keep his HP down. He's going to pop a healing salve though. Earthshaker in position with a wand. He's also got a smoke. I think Dire Team did know that he roamed past, though. I assume, yeah, he definitely went past this area with that ward up. SK doing a little bit of rune protection. It's actually going to be top, though, and is Clockwork going to get it? They're going to race for it. Pugna is not going to be there. Wow, very fast mechanism on Pugna. I love this item pickup on him. Looks like Lion might be in a little bit of trouble here. He does have a Finger of Death, though. There's the disable on the Batrider. Will he go down? I think Windrunner almost getting the kill. Lion, unfortunately, not committing to that. Unfortunately, as a result, not going to get a kill on the Batrider. I feel like he maybe should have gone on that, but he did not feel safe. He didn't want to be a target. So, once again, still a very safe play. Now, the reason that Mechanism is so sexy on a Pugna has very low armor starting. He's only at 4 right now as a level 4 hero. He has really bad strength gain as well. So if you pick up a fast Mechanism, all of a sudden you have this 250 HP heal, which it essentially increases your max HP. Most importantly though, Pugna has the best int gain in the entire game. He has so much intelligence. Look at his mana pool right now. It's higher than his HP pool, which means that he can easily afford to cast a Mechanism in a team fight. That's why it's such a sexy item on Pugna. He's even going to go into the jungle quick. Nether Blast is wonderful for farming. And we'll see where he goes from here. He might go Treads, he might go Arcane Boots. But something like a Mech Arcane is actually very, very effective. Even Mech Treads on Pugna is not a bad decision, in my opinion. SK coming for a gank here. Hasn't really accomplished a whole lot so far. It is daytime, so Windrunner realizes what's going on. He's actually going to go for a really fast Force Staff, which makes me think somebody else is going to get a Mech. But who is it going to be? Probably not anybody. I think they're just going to opt for the really fast Force Staff. A little surprising, but I think it's primarily going to be used. I don't know if you force an ally who's netted by Batrider doesn't separate. I know Swap does. Another rocket going to the top lane. Actually not going to hit anybody here. I cannot believe this game is so passive, man. Link continuing to farm. And there we go. Power Treads now, sitting on agility with the double Sage's Mask, opting not to get the Sobi Mask, or I'm sorry, the Soul Ring. The reason that he's doing this, well, one sec, here comes a team fight. Are we going to see SK get blocked off? He does get stunned there, and the Fissure may come, but yeah, that's going to be SK definitely going down. Nice play there. Unfortunately, the Fissure blocking off the Pugna just a little bit. Could be a kill, but the arrow comes in on Calculus. He goes down. Nice Nether Blast will pick up the kill. Unfortunate Fissure. The Nether Ward is gone now, so they won't have to worry about that anymore. Clockwork pretty tanky now with that Vitality Booster and that Stout Shield. What was I talking about? Something cool. Alright, the reason that he's skipping the Soul Ring is that by the time that you get your Orchid, your Soul Ring becomes completely worthless, basically. All it really gives you is the HP regen. Once you have an Orchid, you have more than enough mana for a Broodmother. You're never going to run out, basically. So by just opting for the Sage's Mask and the Wand, he has basically very careful mana management, and he doesn't end up needing the Soul Ring, and that means he gets to that Orchid just a little bit faster, which can make the difference. But more importantly, he's just getting a lot of levels down here. He's slightly interrupting Priest of the Moon's farm, and with this double damage, we'll see if we can get a kill off. I don't know if they have a sentry or not. They actually don't have any vision at all, so they're not going to get a kill here. I feel like SK is kind of wasting his time. Unless he gets like an ulti stun off or something like that, it's going to be really tough. Unless here comes here. Nope, a couple hits on Link, and that's going to be about it. Top lane about to be pushed. Will Calculus get a good stun off? He's going to be looking for it. There's a nice Tide ulti. That Fissure actually not hitting quite a few heroes, but Clockwork Goblin's battery cell just hitting so hard right now, and Tide easily going to be picked up. Earthshaker getting lassoed by the Batrider. There's the Echo Slam going to do some damage to the Mirana. Mirana's actually completely out of mana here. Oh, she barely has enough for leap after the wand. There's the Decrep Blast going on to the Clockwork Goblin, but he will survive. And surprisingly, not more heroes died. Arrow comes through, cleans up on the Earthshaker, and Windrunner as well. Going to be juking into the trees. Will she be able to die? I think she can just TP out unless he has Flame Break, which he does not. Still nothing, and she's just going to get picked off here. Nice mech to keep her alive. Was that her mech? Windrun going to keep her alive. They need a nuke, and there we go. Nether Blast actually gets killed. That was really close. I'm actually very surprised she didn't just teleport out there. I think she just assumed that Batrider had Flame Break, but he actually did not have that. So if she would have just ran into the trees here and teleported out, I think she could have survived. Alright, there we go. Alright, Link continuing to CS in the bot lane. He's not going to leave here anytime soon, picking up the level 11. SK actually quite under-leveled in comparison, so I assume that we're going to see Broodmother be a little aggressive here. Probably going to pick up a Oblivion Staff. Or not. There's the Hex going on to the Sand King. He's in a lot of trouble. There's the damage as well. And yeah, just big nukes coming out. This is why you pick up a Lion, guys, and you basically just level up Earth Spike and Hex so you can do stuff like that. Especially as a support hero, you can't afford to get mana drain. He had to use basically all of his mana there to be able to get the Earth Spike and the Hex off, but it absolutely makes a difference. And it looks like Tide actually going to go down once again. Going down with Earthshaker this time with the level 1 Enchant Totem and a nice TP out by Clockwork. You know, he was in deep. Fissure on the creeps to reduce their damage just a little bit and provide him a little bit of safety. And Spiderlings in the jungle being Link playing very effectively here, getting extra farm basically by using these. Just a little bit of micro, telling them what to do, and there's his Oblivion Staff, so his mana regen getting pretty good. 4 mana per second. He can't spam quite as often as he could if he had a Soul Ring, but whatever. It's a choice. He's going to get to that Orchid a little bit faster. He won't have as much lane control, but I think he's making a fine decision. Batrider actually very underfarmed this game though. 1400 gold. If you look at his gold per minute, 282 is actually pretty low. And actually in the entire game, I'm sorry, that wasn't his. 213, he's very, very low. 213 is extremely low for a solo hero. And if we look at the gold graph, yeah, they're actually 1500 gold in the lead. The Radiant team is at least. They're only up by 3 kills, but they have been farming a little bit better. It's not a huge advantage, but it does make a difference. And Pugna is going to go for the Arcane Boots with the Ogre Club, possibly going for either a BKB or a Aghanim Scepter. I'm going to guess a BKB because there is an Earthshaker. And more chase going on to the Batrider. Do we see a hook? He still is not hooked. I'm kind of surprised he didn't hook on that, but I think they're just going to opt to take the tower. Mid tower actually goes down to the Dire team. Pugna's so good at taking out towers. And Tidehunter about to hit level 7. They're actually in a TP. They know the dive is going on. And yes, Batrider gets picked off. The hookshot was successful. Pugna goes on the chase. Tide will be following as well. He is trying to TP out. He's going to make it. Absolutely. No stun to shut him down. And nice play by Clockwork. Picking up that easy kill on the Batrider. And the tower falls. So nice big swing there for the Radiant team. Broodmother level 11 still. Priest of the Moon, how are you farming, man? If we look at some items so far in the game, very, very tanky on the Clockwork. Earthshaker with that Arcane Boots is looking good. Windrunner just picking up the Force Staff. We've been looking at Broodmother's items all game here, and Lion just tanking up basically. Not even a wand yet, just Bracer and a lot of other stats. Priest of the Moon coming, roaming around to kill some creeps, and Lion coming in. There's the Fissure, it's going to catch him. Are they going to be able to catch up? Not going to be able to get the Hex off. There's the slow, it might be enough, and there's the power shot. I'm sorry, the shackle shot, that will be enough. The chain stunning goes down. SK gets an ulti off though, will it be enough? Oh, it's going to be close, he goes invisible, and there's the chase. Nice play by the SK, doing all he could there to try to pick off the Earthshaker, but it was not adequate. Earthshaker ends up surviving, but a really nice play. Running out of sight range, channeling the ulti, and then stun initiate on those 4 heroes. Unfortunately, no one else was there. If there was some more AoE, that would have been a dead Earthshaker. So very good plays, but unfortunately for the Dire team, just not quite good enough. Problem and a little bit of a disadvantage. Now they're going to be looking to lose another tower. Clockwork's still trying to control the mid lane, prevent towers from dying there, but this tower is definitely gone, and they will leave Link to continue to solo this lane, basically. He does get the last hit, which is pretty big. He's getting very close to his Orchid. A little bit of AoE damage done by the Batrider, or escaping, not quite sure. Tide going to do a gush on the top lane. Is he going to go for this? I don't think so. Yeah, the Anchor Smash does a little bit of damage, but nothing major. Clockwork coming through. He is going to be battery salting Mania. Mania in a lot of trouble. He's not even going to waste his ulti. He knows he's dead. And a nice play by the Radiant team. Once again, Tidehunter's just getting destroyed this game, man. If we look at the scoreboard, he's got to die 5-0. Oh man, 0-5 and 0 on the Tidehunter. Not a good game for Mania. Lion getting a kill on the bot lane against the Sand King. The Decrep Blast goes down on the Broodmother. Will they go back in? He is. Nice shackle shot. Such a huge shackle shot. Broodmother going down so fast. The Nether Ward drops. And Radiant Team SK just destroying right now. Such good play. Priest of the Moon, really not much tank at all. Looks like she's going for a Linken's possibly with that Ring of Health. But look at this. This is all she has for HP. It's a magic wand. That's it. If she gets stunned, which she did, couple nukes, dead. And that's exactly what we saw. So let's look at some CS totals here. Clockwork Goblin once again dancing. He's been playing so good this game, I must say. 106 CS on the Broodmother, 88 on a Windrunner. We have 22 on Earthshaker, 70 on Clockwork. But 4-0 and 5 on the Clockwork, 5-2 and 4 on Earthshaker. That's obscene kills for support Earthshaker. And who did we just see die? It's a Bat Rider actually going down again. Windrunner cleaned up on that, roamed into the jungle to find him. And just sitting on Force Staff still. Force Staff and that Phase Boots. He's probably going to be going for a pipe, I'm assuming. Earthshaker might be in a little bit of trouble. The stun does get off, and he's going to channel that ulti as well. Nice play by the Sand King, and that's it. Earthshaker goes down. Nice little pick up there, and it looks like Broodmother picking up the Mirana on the bot lane, using that Orchid, using the, wow, getting a lot of, all of a sudden his incapacitating bite is maxed out. Pop his ulti, pop the Orchid silence, and just auto-attack that Broodmother, or auto-attack the Mirana till he goes down. And this is the mistake that the Mirana's been making this game. He doesn't have enough HP, so just a little bit of nuke damage picks him off. And that's why he's just died twice in a row, and that greatly impacts your semi-carry potential when that's the only semi-carry on your team. I basically do not see problem winning this right now. They are at a huge disadvantage. Their heroes are unable to farm. The only person that's really doing well so far is going to be the Pugna, who is going to have a Black King bar pretty soon here, but even still, I mean, he's going to be up against a Broodmother, who is most definitely going to be putting the Orchid on either the Pugna or the Tidehunter in the team fight if the Tidehunter is not ultied yet. Tide does pick up the Arcane Boost, so he will be casting a lot this game, but still, definitely up a hill. The Clockwork Goblin in the jungle. Is he going to initiate on this? He's actually taking a little bit of burn damage, but he's thinking about it. He's waiting for his allies to show up. And here he goes, Battery Assault on the way. Now he's going to cog him in. This is what he was waiting for. He wanted the Firefly to run out so that he couldn't just fly over the cogs. And hilariously enough, the Assault, yeah, that's going to get him killed. Nice play by Megalair, being really patient. He didn't even have to cog in the Bat Rider, but he totally could have. Wait till the Firefly runs out and just cog him in. Nothing he could do about it. Lion goes down to the bot lane, though. Pugna getting an effective gank off and another rocket as well. Mirana smartly finally switching to Strength Threads, realizing that she's dying way too easily. Tidehunter in a position to defend the mid. But you got to be careful about that Clockwork. Wow, he's got a Hood and a Vanguard. He is so hard to kill at this point, and his damage output with that Battery Assault is just so high. This is not how we normally see Clockworks played on the mid lane, but we could definitely see Resurgent here. This is basically why Clockworks haven't been that effective, because they've been laning on side lanes. If he lanes in the mid lane, all of a sudden, he can do this awesome stuff where he gets a lot of levels, he gets a lot of farm, and he can actually impact the team fight. And Broodmother getting killed by a bunch of creeps on the bot lane. Sorry about missing that one. He actually, did they even have sentries up? Kind of unusual. Tower's gonna get denied. Initiation on the mid lane now. Tidehunter taking a lot of damage. He's gonna get nuked down. Eventually Tide gets his ulti out before he goes down though, and just a little bit of AoE from the Sand King, and Bat Rider now, wow, taking so much damage. Is he gonna survive? Wow, survives at 40 HP, pops the salve up. Clockwork Goblin's got to be mad about that one. And Earthshaker gets picked off as well by the Pugna, chasing that off. So good team fight there for the Dire team. Surprisingly, went pretty well for them. There's another stun on Clockwork Goblin. Are we going to get follow-up, though? There's no way they're going to be able to get these kills. These guys are way too over-farmed for them. And a double damage on Clockwork would have been really dangerous as well. TP going on the top lane. It will be the Lion. He actually picking up a level of mana drain. The reason he picked this up is probably because it looks like the Priest of the Moon is going for a Linken Sphere. Is he going for the Linkens? I don't know. Maybe he's just sitting on the Ring of Health. I don't really like this item pickup. I don't think it's smart to pick up the Ring of Health like this. He may be getting like a Yasha first. But the mana drain, you know what? Even if he's not using it to disable a Linken Sphere, he can use it to regen some mana. So if he's like soloing a random lane, it's not a big deal basically.
Do it with flair.
Windrunner still hasn't purchased anything new, possibly just going to make the pipe straight out. I really assume she's going to get that. After the pipe, though, definitely needs a little bit of mana regen. It's kind of the problem with going for a pipe, is oftentimes it's a little expensive on mana. I guess mech is technically a similar situation, but it's nice to get like a sheepstick after this, basically. And there's the hood completed. She's very close to her pipe. Broodmother with the Ogre Club now going to be going for a Black King Bar. I bet if he had a Black King Bar, he wouldn't have died to Priest of the Moon and Pugna there on the bot lane. There's the Black King Bar finished on Pugna with that Arcane Boots. He's looking really good for a team fight. There's a random rocket, going to scout some things out. Miggle was tanking there, but he's going to let the Earthshaker clean up the CS. He's so close to his Blink Dagger, and this is a nice little thing that you can do. Once the Earthshaker does get a Blink Dagger, the team fights are going to be way different because we're going to see perfect fissures and perfect Echo Slams, ideally. Blink Dagger on Bat Rider, but other than that, he's very, very underfarmed. Has virtually no tank here, just that Ring of Basilius and that wand. But he will be able to catch anyone out of position with that Blink Dagger. Most importantly, he will also be able to stun the Broodmother when the Black King Bar gets activated, because Flaming Lasso does go through that. And look at this! Look at this ward. Absolutely spotting that out. Such a nice play by the Radiant team. This ward, complete circle. You saw it happen, I saw it happen. They were looking at those heroes, they saw the smoke pop, and they absolutely saw that coming. Broodmother going to be scouting out. The Clockwork actually still gets initiated on, though. Are we going to see the team fight happen? They might just let him die. And indeed, he is going to go down. Wow, SK actually ultied there, expecting the rest of the team to show up, but a little bit of a misplay. Clockwork goes down. They're going to TP out. Windrunner was pushing the top lane here. There's the Nether Ward. And Windrunner is going to have to clean that up and probably just run away at this point. I can't believe that they died to that. Seriously, I can't believe that they got caught out. I guess Clockwork was over here and he ran slowly or something. I didn't check his whole path, but kind of sloppy there. I mean, I thought they were going to be absolutely fine with that smoke gank. The ward didn't have a ton of vision. I mean, I know they're all standing like right here, but they could see the smoke effect blossoming out, and they definitely saw it. So, kind of a weird misplay there by that Clockwork Goblin. Nice initiation on the Priest of the Moon. He's going to take a little bit of damage. He does finish that Yasha first. And Windrunner just kind of chancing his options here. Are we going to see the lasso? No, he's actually on 7-second cooldown. Windrunner will be fine. SK still very underfarmed, just getting a couple of basic stat items. And Lion now TPing to the top lane as well as the Earthshaker. Somebody said Mania just ultied. Ooh, he did just ulti. Opting to do the Anchor Smash. And accidentally popped his ulti instead. That's very, very unfortunate. It does happen occasionally. Going after this Bat Rider, are they going to be able to get him? There's the power shot. The hook shot is actually really effective. Bat Rider goes down. Now the Dire team at a big disadvantage here. Mania accidentally ulting. And they have a hero down. They can't defend this at all. They basically have to try counter pushing. Or just let their tower fall. But at least for them, the Radiant team might not be aware of the fact that Mania did ulti. The Observer would have seen it for sure, but I don't know if they spotted it or not.
Incoming.
More hoods. So many hoods on these guys. Still no pipe though. Kind of surprised unless we have it coming now. And that's a TP scroll. That is not a pipe. Not what I was hoping for. It's actually me, Clockwork, who picks up the pipe. Windrunner just going to sit on the hood, which I think is really smart. The magic is a really easy way to pick off a Windrunner. And no hookshot, 5-second cooldown. We have an invis. Actually, that's smoke on the Earthshaker. He has a Blink Dagger. Are they going to go on Mania? He doesn't have an ulti. They don't know that line coming through. There's the Hex. There's some chain stunning going. There's going to be TP supports, but Mania gets picked off immediately. Even if he didn't get chain stun there, he would have gone down. Earthshaker is going to be the next target. He is going to get pulled through. No chance of him surviving. He doesn't even get his Echo Slam off. He will do an enchant totem, but Windrunner picks off the top tower in the meantime. So Tide falls mid. They take a tower top. Broodmother, I don't know how recently she got the tower on the bottom. Let's check. Pretty recently, yeah, right before Tidehunter went down, Broodmother got the bottom tower. So 2 tower swing plus a Tidehunter pickup. Radiant team's looking really good. They still have 4 towers up, so they're at a 3 tower advantage right now. And as soon as this mid tower falls and they pick up their pipe, they are most definitely going to be looking to take a tower. Broodmother BKB is finished now. He's going to be in the jungle just a little bit, but I expect them to basically Maybe do a Rosh push, something like that. Or like I said, take the tower. 1,600 gold on the Mirana. Still a little bit of ways away from that Manta style. And Windrunner will be going for a Sheep Stick, so getting pretty close to that as well. 800 plus 875, about 1,600 gold here on the Windrunner till she gets her sheep. There's a smoke coming up by 4 of the Dire players going to be looking to get a kill on this Broodmother. They do have a dust. It's going to be tough though. Batrider is going to be able to ulti. If they can ulti before he gets his BKB off, that's going to make all the difference. But are they going to be able to do it? The arrow comes through. There's initiation. There's the smoke. He doesn't get the BKB off. There's the first couple nukes. Is it going to be enough? He's going to pop his BKB. He's going to turn. Is he going to fight? He hasn't ran yet. Just run away, dude. Is he going to ulti? He's thinking about it. There's another dust, but it doesn't work because the BKB's up. Mistake there by the SK. Now SK is going to be in a lot of trouble. Will he ulti this? He does indeed. And there's the stun. And the net's going down as well. Tidehunter will ulti this. Going to catch 2 heroes. Broodmother not really using his ulti fully effectively. The line actually might go down to the life drain. It's not going to happen. BKB on the Pugna. Big ulti by the Echo Slam. And SK ulti doing a lot of work as well. Batrider goes down, Mirana, and Tidehunter 3 Dire team. Earthshaker does fall. And Broodmother might be in some trouble as well, but are we going to see Pugna fall now? It just might go down. His HP is so low, and the Finger of Death is going to seal the deal. Pugna goes down. 4 heroes drop. Earthshaker's the only one. Nice 4-step. Hook shot going on to the SK, and he goes down. Such a good play. Broodmother, really, really good play there. Had a little bit of hesitation after he used his ulti. I feel like he could have maybe gotten a few more hits in there, but kept himself alive, kept himself invisible, which was the important part. And most importantly, they killed 5 heroes, lost to Earthshaker. Absolutely adequate trade. They're thinking about maybe taking the push, but I think this is smarter. Just go for the Roshan right now. Put that on a hero like Broodmother, Windrunner, maybe one of their squishy support heroes. I think they're going to be absolutely fine, though. Who picked up that Crystallis? Is that Broodmother's? Interesting. It might be Broodmother's Crystallis. I'm going to assume it is. It's going to give him a lot more bonus damage. They will pick up the Roshan very soon. Priest of Moon knows what's up. There's the arrow coming through. It's going to land on the Broodmother. Will she be able to jack it? It's a hard to... We'll see. There's a Crystallis on the Broodmother. He is now critting, and there it is. Aegis gets picked up. He is going for that Daedalus. Going to give him a lot of crit damage. Mid-tower actually taking quite a bit. And Earthshaker will clean up the creep wave. And will it be deniable? It's not going to be deniable, so no big deal. But it will be very close to getting picked off. But it's nice to have those towers up. Windrunner, does she have a mech 300, 700? Needs like 200 more to be able to get that sheep stick is what I meant. And once she gets that sheep stick, she's going to be very survivable with that hood. And she won't be sitting at 17 mana anymore. Her mana is going to get up to, her mana regen going to be more close to 8 or 10 per second. Any new items? Let's look at the gold per minute here. Sitting really good on a couple Radiant heroes. 400 on Windrunner, 450 on Broodmother. And if we look at their CS numbers in specific, 200 on Broodmother, 163 on Windrunner, 105 Clockwork. Even decent enough numbers on Earthshaker line. And compared to the Dire team, Pugna's been farming quite well. He's definitely the only player holding the Dire team together. And Mania just not having a good game, man. I would not want to be him right now. On the bright side, all he really needs to do is a proper ulti as a Tidehunter. He's going to drop a ward down. Really good ward position. Just notice roaming, especially from these ways, things like that. Brood Spider's continuing to just destroy neutrals while Brood continues to push solo. He doesn't actually have a TP scroll, so he can't just BKB TP if he gets into trouble, but he is getting closer to that Daedalus. Still needs about 1,500 gold. I apparently need to silence my friends list. Sorry about that. Alright, Blink Dagger purchase on Lion. He's going to be initiating as well now with a Hex and a Impale. Link is pushing a little bit. Looks like they're ready to do the push. They all smoked up here. The only hero that has been spotted possibly is Windrunner. So they may realize there's a couple of heroes out of position though. Looks like SK is top. He does have a TP scroll. Very underfarmed. We're going to get a pause. Blink Dagger's on the way. Double damage as well. Let's check some items really quick. Anything new on the Dire team? Ultimate Orb on Pugna. Priest of Moon still doesn't have a damage item other than this Yasha. It's pretty bad. Treads on Batrider. That's about it, man. Dire team is not looking healthy, that's for sure. And this team fight is going to decide the racks or not. I think Broodmother's going to have a really good chance of dominating here. I mean, the Blink Dagger on Earthshaker. They have a Sheep Stick on the Windrunner. Everybody is just looking wonderful. Even like every single hero on their team has good items basically. Phase Boots online just increases positioning and give him lesser chances of dying basically. But once he gets that Blink Dagger, we're going to see Initiates, possibly see Batrider get taken out really fast. Their primary targets are basically going to be Sand King dying before he gets a good ulti off. As well as Pugna Mirana probably, and maybe Batrider if he gets out of position. Pretty much everybody on the Dire team is actually pretty squishy. So I think it's safe to say that they're going to be looking kind of iffy here. Really big levels on the Radiant team as well. 17, 14, 17, 19, 13 compared to like... Pugna's doing good, man. 19 on Pugna. Everybody else very underleveled, especially Sand King Tidehunter doing a lot of roaming this game and unfortunately just have absolutely crap items. Black getting a little impatient. Nobody's said anything yet, so they're just curious. Understandably. Having some internet problems. So basically for the Dire to win this here, they have to play an extremely good team fight. I don't know if it's going to be possible though. There's not a lot of room for them to spare, considering all the items that the Radiant team has. They need to make sure that they stay as a team basically. Nobody gets picked off solo. We may see Mirana drop a TP scroll and pick up an ultimate orb right now. I still don't like this Ring of Health pickup by the way. Could have been a bottle, you know? Alright, here we go. Team fight about to happen. This is what we have all been waiting for. Power shot going through. Bad time to have this bug. Blink Dagger on the line. Smoke is just about to run out. The Radiant team's actually going to back up. Pick up that double damage, I think, for the Clockwork Goblin. I'm kind of surprised. Maybe they decided to back up because, I really don't know. Earthshaker actually picked up the double damage, so... not quite sure. I thought they were going to push that. Talked it up for a really long period of time, and then they just say, nah. Don't worry about it. Broodmother getting closer to that Daedalus. Still about 900 away. Pugna Tide and the Batrider are all pushing out now. They may just encounter the enemy. Yeah, I think they're just going to back up and farm for a little bit. Wait till Earthshaker gets his Force Staff. And maybe let Broodmother get the Daedalus. Looks like he's doing a little bit of Spider Micro right now just to get some vision around the map. And Windrunner swinging top as well. 12. A lot of regen. Clockwork, nothing new. 3,400. We'll see if he goes for like a Heart or Blade Mail next. I could definitely see either one of those possibilities. More likely a Heart since he already does have a lot of damage reduction. Or a Shivas would actually be very good as well. Not amazing, but it would be good. His armor is definitely his weak spot right now. If he picks up a lot of armor, Clockwork's going to be virtually unkillable. A nice balance of armor and HP would actually be quite good. Observer Ward by the line on the high ground. I think they're just assuming where people are. There was an Observer Ward. Is the Dire team going to catch anybody? That's the real question. There's the Manta finally finished on the Mirana. Kind of late, 10 minutes late approximately. And Tide going really cost efficient with his items. With the Planeswalker's Cloak. It's nice to just pick this up. It's a very cheap item that increases your effective HP or your estimated HP by a decent amount. And eventually he's going to want to go for a hood anyways. It's pretty much equivalent to a brace. And there's the Initiate going on the Sand King. Big Shackle Shot going to catch the Pugna. That is it for the Dire team in this team fight. Big ulti from... Oh my gosh, Priest of Moon ulti actually saving them. I cannot believe it. Earthshaker goes down. Angel in all that trouble for sure. I literally am so surprised that those two heroes survived. Such a good play by Mirana, saving those two guys. 0 dust, 0 wards, and that is going to be the mistake of SK right now. That would have been 2 heroes. That would have been a team push, possibly a Rex. Those guys needed to die. The Shackle Shot was perfect. Wow. Such a big save by Priest of Moon. Play of the game right there. Absolutely the stuff that they needed to keep them in the game. Just stuff like that, basically. Alright, Brood with the Daedalus recipe. I assume he's got the item itself. He just needs to pick up the recipe. And yes, indeed, he does have his Daedalus finished. He's going to be hitting so hard, especially with his ulti on. Plus 100 damage. Going to be critting for like 2.5 times his damage. And Tide will, he's actually waiting for Sentries, so he will counter-ward that. Nice miss from the... You got this, Batrider. Yes. Effective dewarding. Pretty obvious that there's going to be a ward up there. If somebody gets ganked on the top like that, And especially when the Radiant team is in such an advantage, they will be ganking heavily. This is like the most common ward spot in the game when the Radiant team is on an aggressive stance. So it's very smart for Tide to spend just a little bit of gold there to remove those wards. It means that they're going to be able to farm semi-effectively in the jungle here. And Clockwork Goblin Rocket not going to spot anybody else. We have actually Ping from the Dire team predicting a possibly a rune spot. And Sand King finally getting his Blink Dagger. This is going to make such an impact on the game. He can finally do an ulti channel Blink Epicenter, or Blink Stun basically, which means that he's pretty much going to be able to get good ultis off in team fights, assuming he doesn't get initiated on, like he did in the last team fight. But Force Staff now in the Earthshaker. He's going to be blinking in, casting his spells, and then Force Staffing out most likely. Broodmother is ready to go, man. Such good crit numbers. Windrunner saving for buyback as well. A lot of the Radiant team actually saving for buyback. And another good D ward by the Dire team, using those sentry wards very effectively. Going a long ways. And are they going to initiate? Windrunner wants to get a shackle off on this Windrunner. There's the Force Staff. Not going to get it though. No trees in sight. Here comes the arrow. Is it going to land though? Angel going to dodge that absolutely fine. There's a Pugna BKB. They're initiating. Going on the Clockwork Goblin. I don't like his decision making here. Ward will drop. And he pops his BKB. It's going to be on cooldown for the next team fight. Sloppy play there. And the hook shot. This is going to be it. Pugna is going to go down here. Once again, Priest of the Moon. Silencing. Do we have any dust or anything, man? SK goes through. Big shackle shot. SK drops. Pugna drops. Going after the Barrier. Now they're still invisible, though. Still chasing. Tide ends up ulting right before he becomes visible. But this may just be the end for the Dire team. Those two heroes going down. And another hook shot. The Aghatim's on Clockwork. 20-second cooldown. Picks off Mania. Such a big play. And another ridiculously good shackle shot. I cannot believe it. Radiant team just absolutely perfecting their chase and their team fight there. SK playing so good. That was so great. I cannot believe that, man. Holy crap. Every single player there on SK did that perfectly. Both shackles. Wow, that was wonderful. There's a chase on the Mirana, making a little bit of a mistake, trying to slow down the push, and now he's going to die solo, possibly, and with the leap. Nothing that she's going to be able to do. This is a huge mistake that a lot of players make. They say, I'm trying to slow down this push. She was alive. She's got 3 allies dead. It's not worth it to just try to get the Starfall off. You're going to die. That's what happened, and now their team fight, they can't even fight again. They're going to have to wait 60 seconds until Priest of the Moon is up again. I mean, they're at a big disadvantage already, so the likelihood of them being able to actually win a 5v5 team fight is unlikely, but still, she did not need to be that aggressive like that, and their team is basically at a disadvantage now in 40 seconds. They're actually going to back off, though. They're not going to take a double racks. Double racks would have been a little rough because that mid tower is still up, but SK is really, really strong right now. See what our crit numbers are. Just want to give me a crit number. Come on. Come on, Broodmother. It's got a Yasha now, possibly going for a Manta next. It's going to be able to split off any debuffs. Like a Decrepify actually would be very nice. Nice little ward position. Going to spot some neutrals basically. Actually very, very, I think that's Spiders actually scouting that out. But a nice ward position. That way it's harder for them to counter ward, but you still get a little bit of jungle movement. It's actually a very good ward spot. Anybody roaming this way is going to get spotted, and anybody farming this camp will also be spotted. Ping on the bot lane for the blue player, that is Miguel, I think. Yes, indeed. He does have a plate mail. So his armor is, basically his survivability now is getting ridiculous. He did balance out that low HP by getting an Aghatim Scepter, and now he has a plate mail, so he basically is the perfect solution. Pugna going to take some hits. Will the... No arrow hit. And Broodmother feeling a little scared. He's going to need a Gush. No Shackle Shot landing. And will he get the tower? He does indeed get it. Tower goes down. Barrier initiating, going on the Windrunner, but Windrunner very survivable. There's the BKB, pop from the Broodmother's ulti going as well, and the damage being done. Just too much going down on the Pugna. Tidehunter going to be next to fall. He does get the ulti off in a big epicenter as well by the Sand King, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's the Sheep. Sand King taking a lot of damage. Broodmother going to clean this up no problem, and I think we're going to see a good game very shortly. As soon as the Radiant team rolls up and takes the second racks, I think the Dire team is going to give up. I'm pretty sure at least. There's the Flame Break. Going on the Mirana once again. He's going to leap away. The hookshot going through. It's going to catch the Bat Rider. Does he have Flame Break? I don't think he does. He does go down. And I think that's about it. Mid-racks will drop here. SK looking really strong, and Problem just not able to hold off here. Not able to hold off the team fights. Another hookshot, man. 20-second cooldown. People are underestimating that Clockwork. Just catching heroes who are out of position. His mana regen isn't that fantastic, but who cares, man? You can hookshot every 20 seconds. It is such a good ultimate. Such a good Aghanim Scepter. And there's the good game, guys. So SK gonna pull out the win here against Problem. Problem reformed under a little bit of new player style. Their team basically just restructuring a little bit here. So thanks for watching with me. I appreciate it, guys. Anybody watching on the VODs, if you guys want to see more from me, go check out my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/PurgeGamers. I have lots of first-person commentary, instructional material, stuff like that. Procasts, pubcasts, great for new players. And of course, I am currently casting for GhostlyGamers.net, the biggest English Dota site on the internet. And just really great play by SK, man. Every single player here played absolutely superb. Very, very few mistakes, if any. Big Echo Slam on the creeps. And SK definitely one of the strongest teams right now. Playing really, really effectively. Kind of weird picks from Problem here, but just not quite playing it correctly. And there's a pause from Pugna accidentally. And the Force Staff through the Ancient Fortress will give victory. So I'll leave this up for just a second so you guys can see the endgame stats in case you're so interested. 35-15. SK pulls out a great win against Problem in the defense. Once again, my name is Purge for Ghostly Gamers. And thank you guys for joining me. I think that's about it. I've got nothing else to say. Really great game. Sloppy play by a couple players on Problem, and they just got picked apart. So that is the overall stats. 10-1-10 on Broodmother, 9-1-18 on Clockwork. Definitely the MVP for the Radiant team. Played really, really well. Hats off to Miguel. So I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you later.